Here is everything you need to know about the new parole program that has been announced by President Biden. This new program is going to affect hundreds of thousands of immigrants. So the program is known as Parole in Place, and DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, now states that about 550,000 undocumented immigrants will benefit from this program. So this new Parole in Place program will help undocumented spouses and children of U.S. citizens who enter the U.S. illegally to apply for lawful permanent residence or green cards without leaving the United States. Now, keep in mind the magic date of June 17th, 2024. Let's talk about eligibility. In order to be eligible for the Parole in Place program, non-citizens must show 5 things. Number 1, they have to show that they have been physically present in the United States after entering without permission, right? That means they came in without inspection, they had no admission, they have no parole. Number 2, they have to show that they have lived in the United States for 10 or more years as of June 17th, 2024. This means that the applicant must have resided in the United States continuously since June 17th, 2014. The third eligibility requirement is that they must be legally married to a U.S. citizen as of June 17th, 2024, or they must have a qualifying stepchild relationship with a U.S. citizen. This means non-citizen children of potential applicants could also be considered for parole in place if they are physically present in the United States without admission or parole, and they have a qualifying stepchild relationship to a U.S. citizen as of 17th June 2024. The fourth requirement is that they must have no disqualifying U.S. immigration history, criminal history. They must not pose a threat to national security, or they must not pose a threat to public safety. And number 5, they must overall merit a favorable exercise of discretion. Okay, now when the law says that, it means you're generally somebody of good behavior, you contribute to society, you have established family ties in the US, things like that. Okay, now what is the program overview and what is the pathway to a green card through this program? So number 1, the parole will be granted for a one-time period and it will be valid for only 3 years. Generally, parole can be renewed, right? But this will be a one-time period parole valid for 3 years. Secondly, if you are eligible for this parole program, you may also be eligible for employment authorization, which is a work permit, and the work permit will also be issued to you for a validity period of 3 years. The work permit will be valid for 3 years. Number 3, if you are granted this parole, then hooray, you may apply for your green card within 3 years of approval of the parole. Okay, bear in mind again that eligibility for this parole program is determined on a case-by-case basis. Now, what is the application process? In order to be considered for the parole program, you will need to file a form with the USCIS, just as we do with all other immigration application types. You have to file it affirmatively. And then number 2, you include all supporting documents to show you meet the requirements. So, for example, you have to prove physical presence, being here since June 17, 2014. There's various ways to prove physical presence, including, if you've been working at a place, bank statements, lease, birth certificates of children born in the US. There's just several ways of proving this. And then you have to prove, obviously, the relationship upon which you are applying for the parole. Right, a marriage certificate dated before June 17, 2024, if you're trying to apply based on marriage to a U.S. citizen. And then you'll pay a filing fee. Obviously, it's not free. Now, how many people will this benefit, and what is the point of all of this? So the DHS, Department of Homeland Security, estimates that it's about 500,000 spouses of U.S. citizens who enter the U.S. unlawfully who will benefit, and majority of them are from Mexico. And also approximately about 50,000 non-citizen children under the age of 21 with a parent married to a U.S. citizen would also benefit. And the point of all of this is that President Biden is trying to ensure that U.S. citizens who have non-citizen spouses and children can keep their families together. Okay, so there's also another reform action associated with this, and it involves easing the visa process for U.S. college graduates, including dreamers. So individuals, including those with DACA or who are DACA recipients and other dreamers, so long as they've earned a degree at an accredited U.S. institution or of higher education in the United States, and they have received an offer of employment from a U.S. employer in a field related to their degree, they will receive work visas such as an H-1B visa more quickly. They're going to ensure this also. Now, here are some 6 do's and don'ts. Please, one caveat, the program has not yet begun. So details of the program are expected to be released by the end of summer through a federal register notice. So here are 6 takeaways from this video. Number 1, you cannot submit an application at this time based on the new parole program. Number 2, any application that you file before the program officially begins will be rejected by USCIS. Details are not out yet, so please take your time. Number 3, please do not pay anyone any fee associated with filing an application based on this parole program at this time. Number 4, get ready. How do you get ready? You need to request all your U.S. immigration records in preparation. We can help you do that. We can pull up all your records, because remember that the DHS fact sheet specifically states that they are going to be reviewing your immigration history as a part of the evaluation process to determine whether or not you will be granted this parole. So it's important that if you've been here, you've done anything you've had any encounters with U.S. immigration, we should request all those immigration records in preparation for the parole program. And we can request your records through a process known as FOIA. Contact us and we'll help you do this. Number 5, please take your time to find the right legal help for your case. The wrong advice could harm your chances of staying in the United States, getting lawful status, or becoming a U.S. citizen. And number 6, the program may be subject to legal disputes and legal battles, and this could affect its implementation negatively. So let's remain optimistic, but let's be cautiously optimistic and keep our fingers crossed. I hope this information helps. Drop all your questions below and we'll be happy to answer. Take care. Follow me for more.